Hello there, this is Sherry Hayes with MomDelights.com, and today we're going to talk about 12 ways to homeschool Christmas. Stay tuned. So today we're going to talk about some ways we can Christmas homeschool. Now, who doesn't like that, right? I mean, you've got a lot of kids in your house and they're all very busy and they want to know, they want Christmas to come as fast as they can. You've got a whole bunch of stuff. You've got to do your shopping for the Christmas presents if you haven't already, or maybe you're making things yourself, or you need to do the Christmas goodies and you have the Christmas cards if you do that anymore, all that kind of stuff. And you've got so much on your plate and yet you're supposed to be homeschooling. I don't know. Lots of times I just gave up and let things happen. And counted everything as school anyway. But if you want to have like a few ideas underneath your hat to pull out, or just to integrate homeschooling and call it homeschooling, which everything is homeschooling, and do it purposefully, here's some ideas. Now, the first idea that I have is just to read the Christmas story. Sorry, this is a big fat Bible. To read the Christmas story from the Bible. Now, the places you'll find this, and I'll show you here. I have my curated. Here's my Christmas list that I'm going from. The place that you'll find this here is Matthew, chapters 1 through 2, and I'll show you. Oh, that's Malachi. Malachi is the last book of the Old Testament, isn't it? Okay, now, Matthew. Here's Matthew, and of course it has the genealogies, which little kids might not be able to sit through that, although some of the names are kind of funny. I love the genealogies. I have a lot of fun. Once you read the Bible over a number of times, and the genealogies, you're like, oh, you can catch the names, and it's really an important thing to have this genealogy here. But anyway, little kids kind of can't get that. So Christ born of Mary, this is a really simplified kind of idea, but it has the wise men from the east, has the flight into Egypt, and so that's kind of an important part here in Matthew. But I think the one that we're most familiar with in Matthew, Mark, Luke. Yeah, Luke is the one where it starts with Zacharias and it goes all the way through, and it has Christ's birth announced to Mary. Mary visits Elizabeth, the Song of Mary, and then like that birth of John the Baptist, and then Christ born of Mary, glory in the highest, about the angels and the shepherds. This is where you'll find that. And you don't have to read this all in one day. You can, like, in different settings, you're reading that story. A lot of people have Advent, and they do that on purpose. Our tradition didn't include that as Christians, but we just read the Bible and incorporate that as we can. Okay, also another important part of Christmas is Isaiah chapter 9. And, we know this, right, because of Handels Messiah, right? And it says, for unto us a child is born. This is chapter 9, verse 6. Unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace, right? So that's wonderful. So you want to read this and understand prophecy about Jesus. You can even go over all the prophecies that were fulfilled just in the birth of Christ, which is amazing. And then that segues into Handels Messiah. And Handels Messiah segues into, so what I've covered the Christmas story. Then let's see, let me get my list. So what have I covered? The Christmas story in Matthew 1 through 2 and Luke 1 through 2, right? Then Isaiah 9 and about the prophecies that were fulfilled in Jesus. That'll take a little bit, you guys, you don't have to have that all laid out right in front of you. You can show your kids right in front of them how to do research on Isaiah 9 with different Bible things and show them how to use them. This is a good idea, right? And so that's the second one. The third one is Handels Messiah, right? Just the whole music itself is amazing. The story behind how Handels Messiah came to be is just so inspiring, so wonderful. And you can use, this is something that I offer for free. It's a free download on my website, and I will put the link below for the blog post on this and where you can download this. But it's open-ended notebooking pages for Christmas, and so you can go through here, and I've got all kinds of fun things that I've put in here, drawing and writings and notebookings and all kinds of stuff. So, and in here there is a place for Handels Messiah, And that's if you listen to it, you can have them draw or write something as they listen to Handel's Messiah. Now, Handel's Messiah covers much more than just the Christmas story. So, I listen to it all year round. That's what I play in my car. Lots of times I play Handel's Messiah. So anyway, that's something you can do for Handel's Messiah. Okay, now, St. Nicholas. Who was St. Nicholas? Okay, who was he? And why did he become a saint? Why did the church make him a saint? So that's something. And then you can find out how St. Nicholas morphed into Santa Claus. Santa Nicholas. See, Santa Nicholas, Santa Claus. It could be. Ha ha. So you look that up. And Christmas carols. Okay. What qualifies as a carol? Learn a number of them, go around the neighborhood and carol. So we do this. We have done this a number of years. We learn the Christmas carols, like we do a couple, or we just sit down and until we exhaust our voices, we'll sing Christmas carols together. You can listen to Christmas carols and just learn them. But what qualifies as an actual carol? That's interesting, isn't it? It's not just a Christmas song. It's not just what's been popular. Christmas carols are very unique. There's a unique thing to them. And then you learn them, and we actually have created our own little booklets that we can take around, and we have actually gone through our neighborhood and sung to our neighbors. And you know what? They thought that was, people are really precious. They usually really like that. Okay, so that's something you can do. Okay, the Christmas tree. Oh my goodness, you can just like do a deep dive into Christmas tree and its origins. Its origins. I didn't spell that right. Its origins with Martin Luther, or however you want to do that. And you can go on Christmas around the world. Then that can segue into Christmas around the world. So that's number 7. The Three Kings, the Epiphany, all the, there's all kinds of different festivals that people do around Christmas time. Number 8 is to read aloud A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Now you can read this aloud, or you can listen to it on audiobook, or I think they have some radio dramatizations of it. But the book itself is just so amazing. You got to read it. It's fun to read because you can do all the different voices, like the Christmas past and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Trust me. So, and then number 9 is crafting. Like salt dough, chenille stems, painting wood rounds. And so I thought I'd bring some examples just for fun. Now we have done salt dough and salt dough and salt dough, my little kids. This is one that one of my little children, they didn't put a name on it, but this is one. Now it does see how that is very homey and very childlike. So basically, I think what happened is they scrubbed all the colors together and did them on the background, and then they just put some antique white on top. That works, right? And actually, this is pretty nice compared to sometimes. Here's one that was from an early child, and isn't this precious? Now, only a mother could love this, right? But see, they just can do whatever they want to. And sometimes what's easier for little kids is that you just roll out the salt dough like you would cookie dough, and you use the cookie cutters and you cut it out, and then you put it in 250 oven. And you know what? Actually, I have the recipe for this right here in this handout. It tells you everything you need to do. But sometimes the kids like to go a little freeform, and they like to form like this is an attempt at a snowman. Okay? But what you want to do with these in order for them to bake, you have to put some tin foil in the middle and then build it around that. And that way, you put it like 250, I think. For about 2 hours at 250. And so, and if you put a little oil in it, it actually tends to be less brittle. But anyway, so this was a snowman. So I think that's pretty cute. I'm not sure who did that, but I like it anyway. and so this was a little flower. See, so what they did is they even put a little texture in it before we baked it. But it's basically a cookie cutter, and so is this one. So that makes it easier. However, like one year we were doing Aslan. This is when The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe came out, and the movie version. And so we just freeformed it. And so this is one. And on the back, you see, you just take a paper clip, one of these paper clips, right? And you just kind of open it up and you hot glue it on the back, and there you have your little hanger. So that's really easy. And there's one freeform. Here's a freeform of one year that was done. Here is another freeform of roses. Roses have a significance for Christmas. Did you know that? Red roses in particular. Here's something that someone did. I do not know what this is, but it is Christmas-like, right? Here's a leaf that was done with a cookie cutter. So there's all kinds of different. I think this one may have had other. No, this is just like that. See, so there's some different ones. Let's see. I don't want to. Oh, here's another attempt at Aslan. So, all right. So all you have to do when you paint these, you can get these little things right there and just grab some brushes, go to Hobby Lobby, get some of this stuff, and all you need for colors is red, yellow, blue, white, and black. That's all. You don't need any other colors. If you want to get some glittery things to put on there, you can, but this is really all you need. It's very, very simple because you can use red, yellow, and blue to make every other color, including brown. And then you might want to have some black to outline and some white because sometimes you want to have, but I get the big acrylic white. And this is pretty inexpensive over at Hobby Lobby. This is Master's Touch. And sometimes they have the 50% off, but this is really good to get for your acrylic stuff. And we just take things like, we'll take pickle jar lids or whatever. This right here is an old dish, and you don't have, and you can use like an ice cream bucket lid, whatever, and you can mix it with in there, and it's so easy. It just washes off, and yet these colors are endurable. These have been, like, this is like 10 years old at least. So see, they last, this is salt dough, right? So it lasts quite a while. So that's one thing. Another thing we have done more recently is we took those wood rounds that are kind of popular, and we did some things with those. Here's the I think it's a teddy bear or a bear. And this, of course, is a deer. And there are other ones that we've done that we just use the wood rounds. And here is, I actually ordered this package of rounds. I'm not sure how much this cost, but it includes, it already has the little, I don't know if you can see this, but it has the little brass attachments at the top of them already. And it has little strings for them already included. So this is a neat thing to do. And you don't really have to prep these at all in order to paint on them. Like, these were not prepped, except we had a little fine grit sandpaper, and we put over just to make it a little more smooth. But you don't have to, do anything to it. This is the back of it. They paint. They're pretty easy to paint on. They do really well. And this is the back of it. Isn't that pretty? So, yeah, so you can do that. That's something you can do. So that was number 9. So number 10 is Christmas stories. Now, I got all kinds of Christmas stories to show you. Oh, before I go on, this is a Christmas Carol that was published by Focus on the Family a few years back. And it has an introduction to it that's notable. That's why I wanted to bring this up. By Joel L. Wheeler. And he talks about Dickens himself and explains his life. It's very, very good. This book is worth just the introduction about Dickens to read. So anyway, but I see how thin this is. See, this is really a really good read aloud, not just because it's fun, but because also it's a short read compared to other Dickens books. Oh, look at this. This is a really cool illustration. Isn't that neat? But anyway, so I wanted to show that. But anyway, Joel L. Wheeler, see, now I have a reason. Joel L. Wheeler, who wrote the introduction to this book, also wrote the other books with Christmas stories I'm going to show you. So these books are called Christmas in My Heart. I'm pretty sure they're still in publication. I'm not 100%. But anyway, there were 6 of these that we got. I don't have number 1, but we have loved and loved and loved and loved these books. We have read the stories in these over and over for many, many years. My husband's boss, his wife, ordered these and gave these to our family for Christmas, and they have just been, Peggy, if you're out there, we still love these books. And so we discovered some new stories, and so we read these over and over again. There are all kinds of authors, and they're so much fun. In fact, some of the stories in there, one of them is Pearl S. Buck's Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Now, that's not the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. It's about some orphans in Korea just after the war. And it's just very touching, very wonderful. And another one is, I think, the Fourth Wise Men or something like by Van Dyke. That's really good. There's The Gift of the Magi is in there, and that's by, I used to know his name. Anyway, famous short story writer. So anyway, those are and now I want to show you also, as I always show you these books. I know, I make you sick because you can't find them or something, whatever. So I like to show these books because these are classics and there's so much cool stuff in it. So this is the bookshelf for boys and girls, and in the back of this there is a section just for Christmas, and it has all kinds of, this volume is in particular nursery favorites, old and new. And so this is Merry Christmas, and it has stuff for little kids, which is a lot of fun. When Santa Claus comes, why holly berries are red. It has all kinds of old stories. The puppy who wanted a boy. And the lights on the Christmas tree, the little blue dishes. There's all kinds of good ones in here. So that's one. And then there's another volume of these that has Christmas in it. And that is in the back of Happy Hours in Storyland. And so, let's see if I can find it. Here we go, Christmas Bells by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. I heard the bells on Christmas Day, their old familiar carols play, and wild and sweet the words repeat of peace on earth, goodwill to men. And thought how, as the day had come, the belfries of all Christendom had rolled along the unbroken song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. Till ringing, singing on its way, the world revolved from night to day, a voice, a chime, a chant sublime of peace on earth, goodwill to men. Then pealed the bells more loud and deep, God is not dead, nor doth he sleep. The wrong shall fail, the right prevail, with peace on earth, goodwill to men. We need that today, don't we? I got chills. Okay, now, A Miserable Merry Christmas. There's all kinds of fun stuff. So this is, surprise, I guess this is Laura Ingalls Wilder. I guess it's from the Little House on the Prairie books. So that's a good one right there. Let's see, there's other stuff. Anyway, there's all kinds of Christmas stories. And I think, I'm going to show you also that if you can get my book house and look, this is the index volume. This is volume number 12. And so in the back is an index, and you can look up holidays in here, and it has every part of this that has Christmas stuff in it. Okay, Christmas, Little Jack Horner, then it has Why the Sea is Salt. And if you follow my other videos on the McGuffey Readers, I am going to read that and publish that this next week. So you can also, I have read it out loud, so you can just play it for your kids. Why the Sea is Salt. That's a Christmas story too, of sorts. Okay, so there. So I've got the stories. All right, let's go and let's see what our next one is. Our number 11 is making Christmas goodies. Well, you know, there's all kinds of ways that you can involve your children in cooking, making Christmas goodies. One way you can do that is you can have them, actually, I split it up into two parts. When I'm making a whole bunch of cookies or whatever, for the cookie dough, I try to make the cookie dough on one day and make a whole bunch of different cookie doughs. And then I have one day where we bake them all. Because most of them, like, you have to chill them, right? Like if we're talking sugar cookies, gingerbread cookies, those kinds of things. So what we do is we make, like, we'll spend a day and we'll make up a whole bunch of different dough. And then the next day, we will bake them. Which sometimes little kids, and I think that's easier because, you know, you don't want to wear yourself out and you don't want your little kids worn out. So if you do that, and then so you involve them in like the measuring and the stirring as much as you can. Or if you have little tiny kids, you just go ahead and make the dough yourself and have them help you just roll it out and decorate or whatever they're going to do. Another thing too, if you are just really like you're expecting a baby and people have been sick, just buy yourself that cookie dough already made. And then get some sprinkles, and yes, you have baked some cookies. All right. So anyway, and there's all kinds of fun things you can do where you don't have to go and make the whole thing. Like another thing that little kids love to do is you can get the chocolate and the white chocolate bark, and you can melt that, and then they can dip like the big rod pretzels in there, and then you can put sprinkles on top, and that makes them feel like they worked. Oh man, they did something amazing. So, you know, you can do that with them. That's a lot of fun. So, cookie baking, goodie making, that's all good. Okay, number 12, the last one is, I think you're gonna like this, cleaning for Christmas. Yes, this is homeschooling at its best. what you want to do is you want to sell it as, listen, we've got to make room for all the nice new stuff. So we're going to clean out the old stuff. We're going to get all our bedrooms ready. We're going to clean under the bed. We're going to change the bedding. We're going to go through our old clothes and our old shoes and just like do a deep purge, like for a whole week. Just pick one place in the house at a time and just do a deep purge. And then by the time Christmas rolls around, then Mama will not only have days worth of leftovers, she will also have a nice clean house. Yes, yes, and amen. You know, this is like right before Christmas when you've got all your presents wrapped and you got all the goodies baked, hopefully, and you don't have much else to do and the kids are antsy because they want Christmas to be here. This is the time to take that energy and, you know, direct it towards this cleaning thing, you know, clean underneath the kitchen sink, you know, right? You can give them points to watch like you can have Christmas movies, you know, ready and say, well, you have to earn points to watch this Christmas movie today. So then they have to earn so many points, and you can have things like clean under your bed, scrub out the bathtub, clean underneath the kitchen sink, you know, fold all the towels, you know, those kinds of things, and have them build up points and say, if you get so many points, then today we can watch a Christmas movie. So that'll be fun. So, you know, just different things like that you can do, or play a Christmas game or play a board game or whatever it is. And what this does is it helps them to have something to occupy themselves with while they're waiting for Christmas to happen. So I hope this stuff helps you. I hope these 12 ideas, I didn't really number all of them like I was supposed to do, but I hope they help you anyway. And God bless you. And on hopefully on Thursday, I will have the video out on why the sea is salt. I'm actually reading that from McGuffey's Revised 5th Reader. So stay tuned for that, hopefully, Lord willing. Please like and subscribe. Bye-bye.